بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. We have already completed lesson number 1, all the exercises as well. And the only part that is left is the vocab. So in this brief lesson, we will take just the vocab, and we will also answer one question that was asked during the previous lesson. So first, let's take the vocab. The first word is تغير يتغير تغيرا, to change. And as you can see here, 5 over here. So 5 means this is verb form number 5, derived verb form number 5. And if you have completed book number 2 with me or by yourselves, now you should be able to understand what is meant by number 5. And if you are not able to, then I would recommend that you watch the videos of lesson number 2, book number 2, so that you are able to understand. And also in this book, we are going to discuss all the 10 forms of the verb. Then we have ظهر يظهر ظهورا, to appear. And this is verb form number 1. This is on the pattern of فتح يفتح. Then we have ميز يميز تمييزا, to sort out, to separate. And this is derived form number 2. Then we have باشر يباشر مباشرة, to be directly attached. And this is verb form number 3 on the pattern of جاهد يجاهد مجاهدة. Then we have نحوي, the grammarian. And from the plural of نحوي is نحاتٌ, نحاتٌ. Similarly, we have فئة, and the plural is فئاتٌ. And محامٍ, and we know that this is ismul manqus, and when we add al with that, then the ya comes back. So it is al-mahami, al-muhami, and the plural is muhamuna. Then we have janin, and the criminal or the culprit, and the plural is junatun. So try to figure out the pattern. Nuhatun, junatun. This is the pattern of fu'atun, which is very common for the asma that are manqus. For al-ism al-manqus, like janin, qadin, radin, this is a very common pattern, which is on the pattern of fu'atun, like junatun and nuhatun. And similarly, we have da'in, du'atun. Mutlaqan, absolutely, it's an adverb. Then we have ma'ada, except, and this is called adatul istithna. It is used for exception. Then we have aqrabu, as we can see that it is on the pattern of af'alu. That's why it does not have tanween. It is called mamnu min as-sarf, and it has 2 plurals. Aqaribu, aqaribu is also mamnu min as-sarf, no tanween. And then we have aqrabuna. So this is on the pattern of sound masculine plural. Aqrabuna, aqrabina, aqrabina, una, ina, ina. Then we have af'an, and the plural is afa'in, afa'in. And hadafa, yahdifu, hadfan, to omit, on the pattern of daraba, yadribu, darban. And then we have muttaqin. Again, this is ismul manqus, and when we put al with that, then the ya comes back. It's basically from ittaqa, yattaqi, ittiqa'an, God-fearing or pious. And the plural is muttaquna, again on the pattern of una. And harran means heat. Then we have jarihun, and jarihun, and the plural of jarihun is jarha. Jarha. We have taken some plurals on this pattern as well. Jarihun is on the pattern of fa'ilun, and the plural is jarha. Ittasala yattasilu ittisalan, verb from number 8, to contact, get in touch with, or to be attached. Thabata yathbutu thubutan, to remain or to stay. As we have seen, thubutu noon, like when in the verb the noon remains over there, like يذهبون تذهبون. So when we say يذهبون تذهبون, we say that this is with ثبوت النون. Sinnun has two meanings. Sinnun means tooth, and the plural is asnanun, and also it is used for age. Akbaru sinnan, older. Huwa akbaru sinnan minni, he is older than me. And then we have a beautiful expression, and this is basically a complete sentence which has become an expression. Hina idhin, at that time. Like we have a very common expression in the Quran, yawma idhin. So this is basically a complete sentence which has been used as one expression. So this is the vocabulary part of lesson number 1. And now we move on to the question that was asked. And the question was about the forms or the kinds or the types of tawkid. As we know that tawkid means emphasis. So there are two types of tawkid. One is التوكيد المعنوي, and this is what we have already discussed in the lesson. And the second one is التوكيد اللفظي, and we will talk about this briefly. Both of them, we will talk about them briefly because we have التوكيد المعنوي we have already discussed in the lesson, and this one inshallah we will discuss about it in the coming lessons. So the first التوكيد المعنوي. In this tawkid form of emphasis, we use specific words, and we have seen like nafsun, kullun, and jami'un. And jami'un, and the plural of jami'un is jami'un, ajma'una, ajma'ina, ajma'ina. And as we are discussing this lesson about the endings of the noun, the case endings of the noun, i'rab. So what we are basically discussing about is like whenever we use these words, their ending will be the same as the ending of the noun that comes before them, or the noun that we use them for. For example, فَسَجَدَ الْمَلَائِكَةُ. So al-malaikatu has dhamma. Similarly, kulluhum also has dhamma. So both of them are marfu. Then we have وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. So here we have asma'a, and here we have kullaha. And this is used for tawkid, as we can see here in the meaning, all of them entirely. And وَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْكِتَابِ كُلِّهِ. Again here, because kitabi has kasra, so kullihi is also majroor, it has kasra, all of it. We have discussed this in detail in the previous lesson. And this one is called, the second type is called at-tawkidu al-lafdhiyu. What do we have here? We have the repetition of the word, tikrarul lafzi, the repetition of the word, or the repetition of the meaning, ma'na. For example, before the prayer is established in the iqamah, we say, قَدْ قَامَتِ الصَّلَاةُ قَدْ قَامَتِ الصَّلَاةُ. So there is a repetition. Similarly, from the Quran, we can see here, وَالسَّابِقُونَ السَّابِقُونَ أُولَٰئِكَ الْمُقَرَّبُونَ. So here the repetition, وَالسَّابِقُونَ السَّابِقُونَ, like قَدْ قَامَتِ الصَّلَاةُ قَدْ قَامَتِ الصَّلَاةُ. And the second example is, so this is the repetition, as we can see here, of the word. And here we have the repetition of the meaning. The verse is, Ya Adam uskun anta wa zawjuka al-jannah. Wa zawjuka al-jannah. So as we can see here, when we say uskun, we know that this is uskun, but when we connect it, it will be muskun. So Ya Adam uskun. So uskun, basically when we say idhab, that means you go. So it already has anta inside it. Yani anta uskun. Similarly, we say kayfa haluka, how are you? But for emphasis, we can also say kayfa haluka anta, or kayfa haluki anti, if you are talking to a feminine. So when we add ta, anta, and anti, that is for emphasis. Similarly, we have these examples in the Quran where we have Ya Adam uskun anta wa zawjuka al-jannah. So, O Adam, dwell you and your wife in paradise. So here anta has been used twice. How it has been used twice, as we can see here. One anta is hidden. It's hidden in uskun, hidden in uskun, and the second anta is here. So now I believe that the question that was asked about the kinds of tawqid, it's clear now. Alhamdulillah, thumma alhamdulillah, we have completed lesson number 1, and inshallah in the next lesson we will begin with lesson number 2. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.